Okay, so now we are on our way to Palomar Airport. Palomar is a really popular Southern California airport for instrument training because it has a ton of approaches, is relatively quiet, has a nice big long runway, and is close to a lot of big training airports. It obviously has training on base there as well, but it is it's located in Carlsbad. Lots of cool stuff around, just like overall a pretty fun airport. But it is surrounded by you know, industrial park, residential area, which seems to kind of hinder what an airport looks like in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So VTOL Aviation updated Palomar, and it looks great. So we're going to go check it out. We're going to do a stop and go, and then head out to kind of what I would consider Palomar's sister airport, Romona, which is just to the east, and look at these two airports. Romona is probably the most common cross-country, initial solo cross-country airport for pilots training out of John Wayne, because it's like 52 miles away. So it's like just past the threshold for the cross-country. Palomar is a great airport again for instrument students because of the number of approaches that it has. So both get used a lot for training purposes in a transient sense.
Juliet, 8 miles southeast.
So we're going to check in here with Palomar Tower on Pilot Edge.
Juliet, St. Louis Tower, just straight in runway 29, reported 2 miles flight. Straight in. Come again. November 68 Juliet, exit, or correction, enter straight in, runway 29, reported 2 miles fine.
The scenery out here is beautiful though.
Straight in,
like it is so pretty.
Final, 68 Juliet.
Palomar Tower, good evening, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo 2700, information Delta. I would like a stop and go if able.
204 Lima Echo, Palomar Tower, stay in your position.
We're about 8 miles to the northeast, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo, just over Vista.
Right to base, runway 24, cleared stop and go, advise on the roll.
Right base 24, cleared stop and go. We'll let you know when we're rolling, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo. Do you have any expected traffic coming in behind us?
Departure, good day. Order departure, 95 FCR. November 894555.
That was too long of a transmission. That was my fault. My fault.
We already passed the numbers. We're close to final base. We can do whatever you want.
Palomar in Argentina.
November 455.
It's a nice name.
455.
Yeah, look at the terrain here is
it look like you're kind of
depicted
doing some loops and not really remaining
perfectly.
In pattern. Are you showing us in the pattern for yourself?
I love that.
Yeah, I'm back in the pattern. I had some hardware issues.
Number 68 Papa Roger, just enter a left base for runway 29er, cleared for the option.
Clear for the option, runway 29er, 68 Papa. I'll try to clean that map up.
Alright, so we're going to be a right base for 24. It's going to be a pretty long right base. The airport is... Again, all these airports are such a pain in the butt to spot from the air in real life. The simulator is usually a little bit easier because the placed items tend to stick out. But it's hard to find airports in real life, man. Yeah, and it is very green. It is very green here today. But look at the mountains, like it looks beautiful. And that's part of what I've really been impressed about the feeling you get flying into these airports on Microsoft Flight Sim is that when you get there, there's a lot of things that could be improved upon in terms of the scenery, but you really do feel like you're actually flying into these airports if you've been there before, and that just gives you the confidence that if you're in a weird part of the world that you've never been to or may never go to, that this is truly what it looks like to be there, which is a really awesome feeling to know that if I did this in real life, which I have, this is what it looks like, which it does. And the more I confirm that, the more confidence that gives me if I go fly into Egypt to look at the pyramids or something. Like, that's what it looks like. And that is a really cool exploration tool. You know, and just fun, like a fun thing to do is hop in these planes and fly around. So, obviously, we're doing this on Pilot Edge in a specific area for training purposes. But regardless, you know, these are pretty famous parts of the country, and if you're interested in learning how to fly, I recommend Pilot Edge, which is going to, of course, take you to these airports.
Santa Monica Ground Citation to Romeo Fox, clearance up to Mammoth, please.
which is why you know, I want to go through these airports.
Santa Monica Ground clearance on request.
Roger, should be a company.
Right.
Should be a company route. Oh god. All right, so let's get on to our final for 2-4. This is going to be a nice stop and go. We're not going to spend too much time poking around the details of the airport. Again, VTOL Simulations is the one that I mean, it's more than a tune-up, but you know, improved Palomar, and they do really great work. So the taxiways are updated.
500.
A lot of the buildings are in the correct spot, and this is free. This is a free Freeware Airport edition. Yeah, that was nice.
1 mile final runway 24.
Yeah, it's a company route. That's his get out of jail free card for submitting a route on Pilot Edge. They just go, right, dude, okay, company route, gotcha. But yeah, this is what this, god, like, this is exactly what this airport looks like. Oh my god, I really want to make this one short. Palomar Tower, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo. Do we have anyone expected behind us?
204 Lima Echo. I don't see anyone behind you, and nobody's taxiing to the active. So, if you'd like a few more minutes on the stop, I can give you up to 5.
Roger that. We'll take less than 5, but we will stop for a few minutes. There seems to be a truck on the runway for Lima Echo.
For Lima Echo, Roger. Approved as requested. Advise rolling.
Advise rolling for Lima Echo.
A truck on the runway.
Welcome. Oh, this thing's gonna.
Fellows Tower.
There we go. Get the horn going.
Juliet, clear runway 29 at Foxtrot. 68 Juliet, taxi Alpha to parking this frequency.
So now we are stopped. Yeah, the runway textures.
Parking 68 Juliet.
Textures look really nice. This looks great. Yeah, so the tower's in the right spot. The we'll pop out into look around mode here. Got the restaurant is on the other side of that tower. The terminal is right there, so that looks good. There's the restaurant, that looks good as well. You can see the industrial parks and, you know, the big warehouses and everything in the surrounding area. The taxiways have been cleared up. The windsock area is correct. Do the ATC see you in the tower of a simulator, or it's just radar? Yeah, it's just radar. Yeah, the texture looks fantastic. Yeah, that looks, everything about that looks really good. Oh man. Yeah, and all the hangars in there. That looks, ooh, like so good. So good. And the textures on the runway, which I'm pretty sure that they did, just looks freaking awesome, man. Yeah, this is great. This is really great. Now, this was before I really hounded them to put fences around their airports, so this one doesn't have a fence, which would make it an A+, but I give this an A, and it looks awesome. Yeah, doesn't it, River? It looks just like it, and that's what I really feel is important distinction to make with these airports in this simulator is, does it feel, from the perspective of somebody that's flown into that airport, does it feel like flying into that airport? Is it perfect? Are all the signs perfect and everything perfect? No. But does it look like the airport? Yes. It looks and feels like the airport, and that is, that's huge. I love that. Well done, guys. Okay. Palomar Tower, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo. We are on the roll. We're going to be departing to the east.
I'm sorry, that was 204 Lima Echo, say again?
We're going to be on the roll and departing to the east. Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo.
4 Lima Echo, eastbound, up your approved. Good day.
Okay. And there's our...
Citation 2 Romeo Foxtrot, Santa Monica, clearance.
There's our van.
Sorry about that. Citation 2 Romeo Foxtrot, Santa Monica, ground clear to the Mammoth County Airport.
Let's buzz this guy.
Citrus for departure, Castro.
Oh, he's just full... He's full on driving on the runway.
Maintain 3000. Frequencies 125.2, squawk 5454.
That's hilarious. Yeah, just add the marine layer for sure.
Fox go to Mammoth on the Citrus Castro transition at Fox. Find the SID, set maintain 3000, SoCal 25.
That's so funny.
5454.
The citation to Romeo Fox, back correct.
That's really funny. Just add the marine. Add the marine layer. That's too good. Yeah, God, this looks just friggin'
251
like it.
Santa Monica, I don't have a flight plan on file for you.
God, that looks so good. Are you kidding me with that?
Roger. Are we able to pick that one up with you, or do we have to go through the other way?
I would prefer you file the flight plan, but if you're looking for tower en route, I can issue you it.
I don't think that's gonna work.
Roger, we're unfamiliar with the flight plan, but we actually want to pick up an I-4 to Mammoth as well if possible, but we'll file it if we have to.
I mean, I can issue you, but I mean, do you know how to file a flight plan on Pilot Edge?
Actually, we're unfamiliar. I was going to look it up after, but negative, we're unfamiliar.
Trucks on the runway is what Asobo calls airport life. Yeah, airport. The airport is alive with box vans on the runway. Going down the runway too. Like, I can understand going across the runway maybe, but they just flat out went. Like, we're gonna travel down the center line.
San Luis Tower, Cessna 85.
What do you think about that? Like, oh god. Okay, I guess fine.
85 kilo. Taxi to parking. I'm sorry, 85 kilo. You already look like you're in the ramp. Did you land runway 29 or runway 25?
Runway 29.
Okay, so tower for Romona is
November 85 kilo. In the future, don't taxi to parking unless I issue you an instruction to parking. You should just stop and wait until you get a taxi instruction issued.
That makes perfect sense. 85 kilo.
875. There we go. Okay.
Citation 2 Romeo Fox, VIP hangars taxi.
November 85.
Could somebody in the chat please type an exclamation point ATIS space KRNM.
Taxi 85 kilo.
Citation 2 Romeo Fox, runway 21, taxi via Bravo.
Please.
Alright, 21 via Bravo, citation 2 Romeo Fox.
Every flight plan filed with Pilot Edge gives me another box truck. Information Papa, I love it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the my I-4 and would like a destination for the test.
November 985 Bravo Juliet, let's go to Riverside, Romeo Alpha Lima.
Roger, Romeo Alpha Lima for the destination. I'll file the flight plan and be back with you. Thanks.
We're actually going to do that in the real world. We have friends in the control tower, and we're going to do a real I-4 rating before I do it in Pilot Edge, and actually have a wild card. Don't tell anybody that I told you that, because I don't know how, I don't know how sketch or not that is, but I thought that was a pretty good idea. How's my color? Yeah, well, the frames have been okay. I mean, I'm not a frame rate snob. I still have my old GPU. I do not have the upgraded GPU yet, so it's not, the frames are not really, I'm not drowning in frame rate at the moment. Elias Danger, thank you very much for following. Welcome aboard. And thank you again, everybody, for joining the Discord that has tonight. That is super cool. If you're new to any of this and want to learn more about aviation, the Discord server is an unbelievable place to learn. We've got so many real-world air traffic controllers and flight instructors of all different levels, MEI, CFII, CFI. It's crazy. Mignon, what's happening? York Tart, it does look very tolerable. For a 1060 6 gig, this is very tolerable. Yeah, VGK, this is the default Premium Deluxe or whatever it's called, Steam Gauge 172. So it is a default plane. It just happens to be, you know, on the premium pack. So that is, it's a little bit yes to both, I guess you could say. All right, how are we looking with Romona? So Romona, like I said, is a great airport for cross countries because it is 52 miles away from John Wayne, and it's relatively light on airspace dangers, I guess you could say. So it's really popular for student solos for that reason. But it's a very pretty airport, very pretty surroundings. Another simple single runway type of layout. So what I'm looking for here is the surrounding area, and is anything missing? Now this is October, the beginning of October 2020, and it's the second or third major update for Microsoft where they did add a bunch of control towers. So the first round of airports that I went through doing this were, a lot of them were missing the tower, which was really bad. They've since added 700, I believe, towers in the US. So that's really good. It may bump up the fidelity of some of these airports. So that's, I'm kind of expecting it to be a little bit better than they have been in the past. Yeah, Iowa, the 1060 6 gig is a great card. This is just such a demanding program that, you know, you can't max everything out. I mean, I have a pretty beefy CPU now with a ton of RAM, brand new motherboard, so it's ready for a new GPU, but you know, the 30 series stuff is a little bit harder to come by right now, and it hasn't been a priority because it's working fine for right now. So as long as I'm getting by, I will be happy. But yeah, God, this is so pretty.
Hey, be good, Shane. 2 Romeo Fox.
See ya. That's awesome. Okay, we're pretty close now, so we can switch over to Romona. Let's see what Romona has going on for us here. Romona Tower, good evening. Cessna 204 Lima Echo, about 10 miles to the northwest. Information Papa, inbound, stop and go.
204 Lima Echo, Romona Tower, enter right downwind, runway 27, or report mid.
Right downwind 27, report midfield, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo. Yeah, this is really pretty. It's weird going to San Diego, even living in Orange County. It's not that far. We've done it, the fastest we've done it was 1 hour and 10 minutes by car. So, I mean, some of you probably have commutes that are that long. But it also could be 3 hours. I think the longest, Juliet, was that long one 3 hours? Juliet might be listening to a podcast. I think it was about 3 hours. So it varies wildly. and makes you not want to go to San Diego as a result. But once you get down there, the road light changes colors. Like, they have this weird amber color street lamp. Things just feel like a different city. It feels like a completely different region, and the terrain starts to change a lot as well once you get basically past Palomar, where we're at. It starts to get rockier. It's a little bit more mountainous, so it feels like you're a lot further away than you really are when you're flying down. Not sure what I'll have to upgrade other stuff to accommodate an upgrade to a 30 series GPU. It's probably going to take a new power supply. I think I read that the 3080 really wants a 750 watt power supply, so that's probably gonna have to happen. New power supply. Yeah. So we'll see. Okay, yeah. So Rhino, you said it there. Yeah, 750 watt power supply. Yeah, so that I will for sure have to upgrade.
With you, 4,000 with golf.
And maybe the case. I mean, at that point, I'll probably need a case anyway, because I'll have a full-on second PC, which I'll probably use to stream off of. But we'll see. We'll see. It's not really a priority at this point. I have a lot of real-world flight hours that I need to get done, so I'm going to focus on that for the time being while the sim seems to be running fine. And
Camera clearance, Jet 251 Charlie Victor.
Just plug along.
Camera clearance 251 Charlie Victor.
You can see this. It's like on a plateau here, surrounded by mountains, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's very. It's weird. I mean, and this is going back to the discussion about having a home airport. Fallbrook, French Valley is such a great location because there's so much variety in airspace between San Diego and LA that if you are based in between the two and just doing flights back and forth on Pilot Edge and being based out of, you know, Fallbrook, or, you know, not really Fallbrook, I guess, but French Valley, which is an untowered airport, so it's not, you know, I still would probably recommend home basing out of a towered airport, but it's a great option, and I love that area because of the access. And then you've got, you know, it's a shorter flight out to Palm Springs as well, so you've got kind of the best of all worlds there. Yeah, 6000 series AMD may be worth looking into if you don't want to upgrade the power supply. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it'd have to be, you know, like a big bargain over the NVIDIA stuff, because the NVIDIA cards look so good. Good lord, they look really good. So we're gonna do a little stop and go here. This would have been probably my solo cross-country airport had it not been for Pilot Edge, oddly enough, because I was so overly prepared with airspace and communication that we made it even harder and went to Camarillo over the Bravo, which is crazy. Through the Bravo, I should say. Not paying attention to the altitude, so who knows if we're at the right altitude or not, but I feel like we're a little tiny on the low side, which is fine. Romona Tower, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo, midfield, left downwind, runway 27.
204 Lima Echo, runway 27, cleared stop and go, advise rolling.
Cleared stop and go, 27, we'll let you know when we're rolling, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo. That looks okay. It's very, I mean, it is right in the middle of nothing. There's nothing around here, which like we've said before, tends to be beneficial to airports in Flight Sim 2020. The more things around, the more potential jankiness will occur. So this is just fields everywhere. So we might get a really good rendition of what this area looks like. Beautiful downtown Romona. Small little town up on this plateau. That looks like maybe a dirt bike track or something. Right over our nose, or something. BMX bikes or something.
Taxi for takeoff.
Number 251, Charlie, have your clearance, you ready?
Affirmative, Charlie Victor, ready to go.
Number 251, Charlie Victor, clear to the Mike
Yeah,
Hotel
look at how pretty
Airport.
this is. Oh man, that's so good.
275, vectors to Gorman.
That is so good.
November, direct Shafter, Echo, Hotel Foxtrot, direct. Maintain 4,000, expect 15,000, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency
Overshot that a
124.7.
little bit.
Squawk
So those hangars
3157.
are not like, yeah, this is a little bit off. So those hangars are huge. They're not that big in real life, and they're missing the main building, which you can see those two white boxes right there. So we're missing some stuff. Ooh, come on. Stay on the center line. It's kind of hard to do when you're looking outside the plane, but
Gorman, Golf Mike November, then direct Shafter, Echo Hotel Foxtrot, direct.
Affirmative, 251 Charlie Victor.
Beautiful surrounding area. Completely wrong hangars.
Red vectors Gorman, and then we'll fly direct Shafter and then direct.
Butter.
Java, thank you so much for the subscription. 4 months. I appreciate that, man. Butter. Thank you, dude.
John Wayne,
Appreciate it a lot. So this is a little bit off.
John Wayne with
I'm going to give Palomar an A, and I'm going to give Romona a C. I'm going to give it a C.
Expect 3,000, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 128.1. Squawk 204
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's flattened over here. I can hear Julia singing in the background. She like never sings anything.
Cleared to John Wayne. At
Julia.
2,000, expect 3,000, 10 minutes after departure.
She's got her headphones on.
Frequency
She's just singing away.
128.1. Squawk 204 tree. Phone through Papa.
1 tree Papa.
750 for the 5, 7, and 9 Ryzens. Okay. Yeah, so I've got the Ryzen 9.
With Charlie.
Everybody all at once.
That was 2 at once. I think I had November 3 Alpha Sierra taxi straight ahead to Millionaire. This frequency pass for the Cat 8.
Straight ahead, this frequency 3 Alpha Sierra. Have a good night.
Who else called?
225 Delta Alpha.
November 225 Delta Alpha Bakersfield Tower. Enter
Okay, we're gonna try to stay out of the Bravo here. I think we can manage this to get to Montgomery.
Left base 225 Delta Alpha.
Ramona Towers, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo on the roll, departing to the west.
Taxi for takeoff.
November 985 Bravo Julia, John Wayne Groundway 20 left, taxi via Alpha Hotel Charlie Kilo.
Taxi via Alpha Hotel Charlie Kilo to 20 left, by Bravo Juliet.
Before Lima Echo, Ramona Tower, Roger, straight out departure approved. Good day.
Straight out departure approved, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo. See ya. We're rolling. Yeah, sometimes it's best just to zoom in and not worry about how fast you're going. The airport in town that I live in has little T hangars, but on the sim it's just massive World War II hangars. I know, it looks so ridiculous. Alright, let's build up some speed. 3, 2, 1, and we're up. And in the brake. Just a slight brake. So we are clear straight out. We cannot go above 3,000. 3,000 feet.
Camarillo ground. Search at 251 Charlie Victor. Information Charlie. Taxi for departure. We're at the restaurant.
251 Charlie Victor, Camarillo ground, away 26 taxi via Foxtrot Alpha.
Let's do weather. We've got 3001. So let's do 3001. that right there? Nope, that's backwards. Wrong way. 3001. There we go. Okay, so 3,000 feet is our limit. I'm gonna climb and stay away from this terrain here. So there are I always think of these airports together, like they're sister airports. They're so close to one another, kind of similar looking in terms of airport, layout. But really fun airports to fly in and out of. Cool procedures. If you're on Pilot Edge, Palomar is a great airport to practice procedures. If you're in SoCal, it's one of the more popular routes for I think ILS. I mean, it's pre-COVID traffic levels. It was hard to get an ILS into John Wayne. Now it hasn't been an issue at all, but Palomar, was not an issue. So,
Thank you.
Getting an ILS was a lot more. You're a lot more likely to get an ILS into Palomar than you were John Wayne. Joe, I started at OCFC, but I did not finish there. I finished privately.
Clear for takeoff, 2625 more traffic.
The worst thing about the autogen airports is the taxiway edge lights. Yeah, in fact, there's a lot of stuff they got to update on those autogen ones. Man, it's kind of a mess. I feel like X-Plane did a much better job at doing that sort of thing.
John Wayne Ground, 0413 Papa at South Commercial Ramp with uniform for taxi.
413 Papa, John Wayne Ground, runway 20 left, taxi via Alpha Juliet Charlie Kilo.
Wanna be
Taxi 20 via Alpha Juliet Charlie Kilo.
Be below this part of the shelf. Yeah. So Palomar, Romona, excellent. VTOL Aviation, you get an A, and Romona, you get a C-.